Hey everybody, Kelly Frederick here, Diamond Leader at Works Global. I am redoing this webinar because it did not record sound the first time. So hopefully this one will work. It's the same content as before, and I hope that is beneficial to you. So today's topic is going to be on tips for creating videos like live streams on Facebook or YouTube or webinars or however it is that you choose to reach people with your business through video. Now, video is kind of a scary thing for people, making videos, making webinars, and I think that's because a lot of people aren't comfortable of a camera with an audience. That's not like a common thing to be comfortable with, and so people want to shy away from it because they're not comfortable with it. They don't really know what to say. They oftentimes feel like they ramble. They don't want people to see them or hear them. And yeah, it is kind of interesting. If you go back and watch your own videos, you're automatically going to self-critique yourself because it's just different seeing yourself and hearing yourself on a video. So hopefully some of these tips will ease your worries and that you don't freak out when you're about ready to make a video. And I can speak from personal experience that making videos, especially on social media like Facebook videos, that's going to grow your business really fast. And the reason being is because most people don't necessarily go and read text on a Facebook feed, okay? Like, especially if it's long. They're more likely to interact if there's a picture associated with it. And they're even more likely to interact or stop and watch a video. Except for there are some tips that you want to make sure that you know as you're doing these things so that you can get people interested and reacting and commenting and producing some sort of action on your video. So the first tip that I have for you is relax, collect yourself. Because I think that people like record a video and then they are like, oh, I like that, and they have to record it and they have to re-record it. Or even if it's a Facebook Live, that's scary for people too. If you don't take time to breathe, relax, and take that time for yourself before, you're going to have a much more difficult time with the video. And that seems like just a duh, you know, of course we need to do that, but that is something that we often forget, especially when we're not comfortable and the adrenaline's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a video. You forget to breathe and then take that time for yourself. So a good way to do this is literally just take a few deep breaths, you know, in, out. Okay. You can close your eyes. You can even do a little bit of meditating. You can say a prayer, whatever it is that you need to do to help you get outside your comfort zone and do these. And I promise the more you do, the easier it gets. So along with that, if you need to write notes or make an outline of what you want to say, do so, okay? I actually have notes today. A lot of times I just speak, but I feel like today I needed to have my notes to make sure I got in what I needed to get in and more structure. So when you have your notes written down, you can glance down, you know, make sure that you're hitting target, but at the same time, you need to make sure you're still having eye contact with the camera. And I think that can get nerve-wracking for people. So here's a tip when you're making eye contact and maybe you need to glance down at your notes. Don't actually look at yourself. Okay, right now I'm looking at myself. Can you guys tell? And right now I'm looking at the camera. Can you see the difference there? If that freaks you out to look at the camera, try not to let it freak you out because at least you're not seeing yourself and critiquing yourself as you do it. So if you look straight at the camera, right there, instead of looking down, 1, you're relieving the nerves from seeing yourself. 2, you can glance down at your notes and immediately back up and you never have to see yourself. 3, it helps you stay more on task because you're not being distracted. And 4, it actually helps people be engaged and interested in what you're saying because when you're looking at the camera, you're looking at an individual. You are reaching one person. And that's the goal when you have these videos. Pretend like you're talking to one person, because if you're just talking to people as a whole, it'll be a lot harder for people to be engaged and interested and want to know what you're saying because you're not actually looking at them. So when you're glancing down at your notes, pop right back up to the camera, okay? So another way that you can do that, though, is you can also speak from your heart, which is what I love to do because I feel like I just get all these things and then I just want to speak it out to you. And those are actually really great too. So if you can eventually feel comfortable with doing notes and maybe speaking from your heart, people are going to feel that you're just really into it and you're passionate because you're speaking from the heart. You're telling them how you feel, and that's really powerful in and of itself. So with that, you need to make sure that you're staying on track, whether you have notes or you're speaking from your heart. And one great way to help with this is to have guided topics. To have a topic that you want to talk about before, instead of just here's my Facebook video or here's my webinar and here's all this stuff. If you have a topic that you know that you want to talk about, or I just posted on our team page, let's see if I can find it here. Here it is. There's 20 days worth of guided topics that you can do, and it's the Facebook video challenge. And I do issue that challenge to you because it's going to be amazing. And yeah, maybe it's difficult and you comfort zone, but I think you're going to be amazed and impressed on what can happen when you do something like this. Use that guided topic and speak from your heart. Create outlines, whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you have what you want to say and are able to say it, do that. Along with staying on track with the guided topics, it is vitally important that you stick to a time limit. Okay, like vitally important that you stick to a time limit. The best amount of time to do a Facebook live video or whatever for just the audience, not necessarily a specific audience, but maybe your friends on your Facebook page, is 3 to 5 minutes. If you go over 5 minutes, I guarantee you people are going to stop watching. If they click on a video and they see that it's over 5 minutes, they're not even going to watch it. So when you're doing these videos, 3 to 5 minutes is your target. Okay, so there are different ways that you can make a video for the online audience. One, of course, is pre-recorded. That's really easy if you want to practice, if you want to make sure you're hitting the time limit, different things like that. Pre-record your video and then upload it. Another way that's becoming really popular is that Facebook Live or even Google Hangout Live like this. This isn't pre-recorded. This is live, me just talking right now. Facebook Lives are really pretty cool because people can interact with you as you're doing your video. And you can also, right up on this screen, on the top of your screen when you do a Facebook Live, it times you. So then you can actually see the time limit that you have. So remember, vitally important is that time limit, 3 to 5 minutes. Let's see, we talked about how you can practice, how you can look at the camera, talking to a specific person, eye contact, taking time to collect yourself before. Let's see what else we got. Outlines, speaking from your heart, different things like that, how to stay on track with guided topics. Now here's like maybe a structure on how you can do a Facebook Live, a webinar, online video, whatever kind. So first, start and end the same every time that you do a video. Okay, so for example, my webinars, I always start by saying like, hey everyone, or what's up everybody, this is Kelly Frederick, Diamond Leader with It Works Global. I start that way every single time so that people start recognizing this is Kelly Frederick. She's a Diamond Leader with It Works Global. Our social media coach, he says, hello adventurer. That's what he says. And when you end the same, you want to end, maybe not necessarily a tagline, but end similarly. Like when I do webinars, I always try to end with relaying my love and appreciation for you. And I feel like that's important because I want to recognize you for being a part of my life by doing that. So start and end the same. And you don't have to do it like that. You do it your way, but you always want to try to start and end the same so that there's consistency and people know like, oh, and now she's going to say this, you know, at the end. She's at an end. they can start going back and rethinking about everything that you have said. So another thing that you want to end with is a call to action. You want the people who have seen your video, seen your Facebook Live, seen your webinar to be called to action. Maybe issue a challenge, maybe, you know, do something that will get them to act upon what they just heard. A lot of times at the end of my webinars, for example, I say post your takeaways so that people think about what they learned. I issue a challenge of some sort, and then I go and try to follow up with that right in the group, for example. So when you're doing a Facebook video or any sort of video, and you end with a call to action, say you're utilizing the 20-day Facebook video challenge, end with a call to action, like, let's pick a day. Day 8, for example, share someone else's story who really inspires you. How can you call someone to action at the end of that? Well, you can call someone to action by asking them to live their true selves, share a story of someone who inspires them in the comments, things like that. Let's pick just a random other day. Okay, share your second favorite product and why it's in your top 2. An easy call to action is go check out product and message me with questions, try it for yourself, call them to action on that. So here's a little structure on how to format your video. So first and foremost, start the same, whatever you choose that to be. You want to say who you are, what happened, or like the purpose of the video, what you did, so that was your action, why it was awesome, and then what the future will hold, and the call to action. Those can kind of combine, and then end. So there are kind of 6 to 8 things. I'm going to repeat those. Start the same, who you are, what happened, what you did, why it was awesome, what the future will hold, the call to action, and end. Okay, those are the things that when you're structuring your video, make sure that you get. So those are the things, and I'll go ahead and post that in the group. So as this webinar draws to a close, I will issue a call to action and a challenge for you. I want you to just try to make a video. Your first one, you don't have to put it on your timeline. Put it in our group page, in that group page, okay? Like, don't even have to worry about it. Try to do a Facebook Live in our group page or pre-record a video and follow these steps and these tips. So I'm going to do the same. And I'm going to start that 20-day challenge because I am ready for that. If you're not ready for that, it's okay. Just start by doing something simple like practicing in our group, and follow these tips and guidelines, and hopefully we'll have a stress-free, awesome webinar or Facebook Live or whatever it is you choose to do. And I love you all, and I'm super excited to see all your videos. We'll talk to you later. Bye.